feedback in line 6 here, typically isn't strong, but can be very strong sometimes, and that can have an effect on society. For the most part, though, the foundation of morality is the interaction between individuals' emotional intuitions, with reason at best pushing things in different directions. Okay. That's Haid's model. I wanted to spend time on other things, but you can always read about it and that sort of thing. Okay. Thank you. Last up is the system in your textbook. This system is important because it brings together a lot of the themes of the moral emotions chapter. The first thing to note about Lischke's system is the process of maturation. For Mencius, one developed morality through Confucian cultivation. For John Haidt, it was a matter of social interaction mediated partially by reason. For Lischke, moral maturation is a matter of internalization, the process by which we take a moral rule and make it our own so that we continue to obey the rule even if no one is looking, even if we don't think we'll ever be punished or caught. For Lischke, this process changes ordinary moral emotions, which are immediate, largely innate reactions, into what he calls moral sentiments, which are more generalized and learned. Again, emotions related to compassion are the most important of all the moral emotions, as with the other systems. Here, sympathy, a feeling of distress at the pain of others, becomes care, which is a more of a shared emotion that is part of an ongoing relationship. This sentiment leads to an interesting phenomenon called the transparent self. With the transparent self, the needs of another are perceived directly as your own needs, without being filtered through your own ideas or perspective. This idea was extensively investigated by the philosopher Eva Kate. The next two moral sentiments evolve out of the moral emotions of shame and guilt. Shame and guilt are closely related moral emotions, and normally we would use those words interchangeably. Lischke, however, follows the anthropologist Ruth Benedict in distinguishing between them, and there are a couple of pages in your textbook discussing the difference. Guilt is more bound up in harm to others, while shame involves violating social norms that might change your status in the community. What's important here is that these two enforcer emotions evolve into different sentiments once they are internalized. Shame grows into a sense of honor, the idea that certain acts are simply beneath a person of your status. Guilt grows into a sense of duty, a felt obligation often associated with a social role like being a parent, but not always. The last sentiment is nobility, which grows out of a sense of admiration. This sentiment is interesting because it is the only sentiment that talks about what we want to be, rather than merely what we want to avoid becoming. The other sentiments provide a moral ground, but nobility provides us with a moral sky to reach for. There is also an extensive discussion of conflicting concepts of nobility from Nietzsche and Confucius, which was the subject of an online exercise you should have done. That covers the basics of Lischke's theory, and with that, are theories of the development of the moral emotions. To summarize, all these theories say that morality grows out of some set of seeds or innate emotions or capacities which can be cultivated or neglected. Chief among these capacities for all theories is an emotion of sympathy which grows into some kind of ethic of care. The theories add different emotions to this basic sense of care, and different people may feel these emotions with differing strength. The process of cultivating the emotions also varies between these theories. For Mencius, it was a Confucian cultivation process. For Haidt, social interaction, and for Lischke, internalization.